What's up, y'all? So I'm doing a passenger side axle today on the GTI MK5. So I'm gonna kind of go over it a little bit, but you're gonna want to use a 17mm deep on your lug nuts. We have a Allen 7 right here. Okay. So we got Allen 7. You got some caliper bolts. I gotta get a hanger with it, but you can see it's the same type of style as the other side. Okay, so you still have to get those triple squares out of there. There's shims and everything. So this one is a little bit different than the other side. The other side is shorter, so you can reach the bolts a lot easier. This one you can use a long extension and do it, which I recommend. If you really want to, you go under the car here and you do it, or you shoot them out with extensions. It just makes it easier, but you can see there's still some things you have to do to get things out the way. You can see a bunch of hardware down there. 27mm for the axle nut. I just ran it out with impact. Okay. I got one of these bolts for the bracket out. Soak that in PB Blaster, especially because you may have a nylon top on it. So doing your ball joint, you may not have to cut it out if you can get it out without it. Otherwise, I disconnect it from I already took the nut off with the tie rod. So you're going to want to disconnect the tie rod and get that out of its socket. So get a hammer and kind of tap the edge of it here and pop it out. Okay. Hammer to the side. Pop it right out. See, that joint just came right out. So see, tapped it from the bottom there. So once it's tapped from the bottom, I might be able to pull out and in this way. So I'm gonna have to do sway links on it. Yippee-ki-yay, awesome. So let's work on the bottom. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can get the ball joint off of it, at least loose. I hit it with PB Blaster. So I do that because the nylon, if these haven't been replaced or they have nylon locking nuts, they will catch on the nylon and you're not able to drop the ball joint out. So you have to cut them out. This side, I may get lucky. Okay, I may get lucky. If it starts spinning the ball joint with it, well, then I'm in for some cutting. So generally that's how it seems to go with Volkswagen for me, is when the nylon rings season there, you can tell this ball joint's been done. It's been rattling for a while. I'm looking forward to getting it out of there. So today's a double whammy. It really ain't too bad, but hey, you know what? I got away with it. Maybe I don't have to cut it. Nope, it's going. So the last one you saw on video, yeah, I had to cut that one out, bro. That was bad. The other side was like really bad. I think one of them got replaced and the other one didn't. It could be because I used PB Blaster on this side. I don't know, but it's pretty much almost there. But the other side was like I went through hell. It was like 90 degrees out when I did the other side, bro. I was beat by the end of that one. I was sweating, I was thirsty. This one's not going to be too bad. So we're going to shoot the bottom out. So not off the ground either. So I probably should have gone up a little higher. Wheel chock, e-brake, whole deal, okay? Make sure you got the whole deal running right now. So it's gonna go. Okay. 16mm. Break it loose for a bit. Yeah, that's kind of dumb how that works, but okay. This one might be a little wild, but what I'm probably gonna do is pull down on the A-arm a little bit. Well, I might just pull the axle out of it. That was really quick. But you can see it's got to come detached, so we're gonna use hit it like that. Ooh. So I'm going to try to get the ball joint out to get it free from the knuckle so I can pull up so I have room to get this axle out, okay? So you can see this one, the nut came free for me, okay? A lot of times when I've done these on Jettas and Volkswagen, that's not the case, bro. They are a pain in the butt to do. They're not fun, bro. Every time I do them, I'm just like, bro, like, every time I end up having to cut them out or something stupid. But you can see with this needing an alignment, it's she's gonna need new tie rods and all that. So, but I leave that to Les Schwab or wherever it takes. Okay. Alright, so there's our ball joint completely tore, bro. This thing, it has seen better days. So here we gotta try and get an axle out of it. I wanted to see if I could do this with the rotor still on it, but I might be a little bit mistaken here. I might not be able to, so we're gonna take if you get this if you swing this outwards first like this, you can take the other caliper bracket bolt off like this, okay? So you don't really have to have it facing that way. The sway leg gets in the way. One of those two. So, okay. So what's an easy way to get that out? Okay. You have like a 17 or a 13 or something, and you can tap it right out. So extension in there. Little tap. See right there, extension with 14 in there. Tap the face of that, okay? If you pull outwards like that, you get this out. So that's out of the way. We're gonna have to pull it like way out of the way to get it out. So look, I shifted my rotor the other way. I can pull it in and out without having to take off. I was gonna loosen up the top here, but you can do it without taking this off either. So you can do it pretty damn easily. But those are deep, homie. Those are pretty deep. So how am I gonna run that? Okay. Damn, I need to do some hubs on this thing too. This thing, it needs a lot, bro. This whip needs a lot. But you can tell like I've gone through a lot of it already. So it's like, well, still running 300K. Let's keep going. So triple square, maybe M10, M12s. So there's an easy way to do this. But first, yeah, that thing is mangled, homie. Yeah, do it like that. So once that's broken loose, so don't use your impact wrench. If you're using power tools like I am, okay, use your electric ratchet after you break them loose with a swivel head. That seems to be the most effective way to go. Okay? I can't even get that on there, bro. What am I doing? You can tell there's a shield around it too. That's fucked up. Volkswagen stuff right there. see, once you break these loose, okay, you throw them on an electric ratchet. Goes one, okay. Be careful of those shims too, bro. You want to keep those shims right there. You don't want to lose those. Those are important, okay? Technically, you could run it without a shim, but I don't recommend that one, bro. You just keep your shims. You're crazy. Sometimes they come with new ones, but like the one that I got from TRQ, I don't think it comes with. Bunch of problems, okay? So we got this one, and like I said, it's easier, bro, if you have this both sides up in the air. The reason why I'm not doing that is I'm at a slight decline here, so I don't want the car to go rolling away on me, bro. Even though it's safe, I'm like, nah, you're gonna be messed up. I'm just that type of dude, okay? So you got those. So you can see both of these, if you sneak it under the return line or over the return line like this, okay, you can get these two back ones. Right, you got one up top right there, but these two back ones, you can get them, okay? The reason why I'm doing this, other than the circumstances I'm in, okay, I could have taken this to a parking lot and just jacked both sides up and done it because this is on a decline. If you was on the side of the road and you have one jack, the jack that came with the car, and your axle just basically dropped, say it dropped like out the boot, not probably on that side, but or you broke it, okay, or something where it won't move, you got to get an axle swapped out. You can get a part, but you don't want to pay for the tow, you know, whatever the circumstances may be. If you're stuck and you have an axle, you can get this out with one side if you have the appropriate tools. So you need to have at least one long extension like that, and you can get them out by hand all around, okay? And hard to get back together, probably. So there's our shim with it. That came out beautifully. So we're gonna stick this up. Okay. This one easy to line up, but there we go. So I gotta reach a hand behind or in front. Okay, I broke it loose, okay? That one that's not fun, bro. I didn't like that. That top one. Maybe use another extension. It's something I might offer advice, is use it one more. Okay, so there goes our axle, okay? Reach back. Push that through quick. Okay, so will come out ball joint, and this will come out with one side on a stand, okay? This makes it, this thing is smoked, bro, but it came out. So I know I can get both of those out. I actually don't even know how that even worked, but for me, I was kind of concerned that I would have to pick up both sides. And the other axle that I did, I only picked up one side. I didn't pick up both. It's mainly just the surface that the car's sitting on, okay? But there's also a test to see if you have one jack that's roadside, that's the jack that's in the back of the car, can you change an axle out with just the car's jack on the side of the road? Yeah, you can. I'd recommend having a stand see when you got stuff falling on you. But yeah, this is a TRQ axle, bro. So they got good parts too, bro. I like TRQ's parts. A lot better than carparts.com. All the way in. All the way in. Alright. So it's already starting to rain on me. But here's what I did. Before you install this axle, put your shims and your hardware in, bro. If you do that, bro, you can literally just hand tighten it and shoot them from back there. I figured this is something I would have done differently from the last time I was messing around. Okay, from the other side, I would have done this way differently, bro. Way different. If you do it this way, you can easily snug that axle in place. That's why I had such a problem getting my other axle in. But you can see it's really spinning. I ain't got no problem getting this in. Install your shims and your hardware first while it's in here, and then you can snug it into the hole and you get a hand tight, and it really isn't a big deal. I was fighting it for like, I'm gonna be honest, I cut the camera on the last video I did for about, dude, I would say I cut that one for a while. I mean a while, bro. And I cut it because I was trying to shimmy this axle in and I could not line it up, and I ended up using a hammer and a screwdriver up against the faceplate to punch it in place. You don't need to do that, bro. If I would have known that from before, sheesh, bro, that would have been so nice. My new axle takes Allen 8, okay? So that's what I ended up using for, was Allen 8, alright? But if you can snug them enough, bro, this goes real easy. I thought I was going to be fighting this thing for hours up in this bee. Because the last one, dude, I was like, what is going on? The last one, it took me probably 20 minutes just to get the axle somewhat in place. Here it's like, bro, this is way easy. So I used this extension. I caught a few of them actually, and what I'm gonna do is have it like in here. This seems like an easier way to go. Okay, so I'm in here with it underneath. I'm snugging them in. Okay, it seems to be easier for me to run them this way. Up top. That seems to be the way to go, okay? I'm sure these things self-tighten too once you're spinning and running them. So, I'm underneath the car, but I have my hand through the wheel with 3 extensions, okay? So as long as you can hit them all, which is doable as long as that shield is... It's doable as long as that shield is out of here. That shield has to be gone. So we're going to go up a little more. It's right there. Okay, that one's in. Okay, gotta reach up and grab my socket again. That really isn't such a bad deal. And you could come down here and tighten them even more with a ratchet if you wanted to. So I'm probably going to just on some of them. Just on some of them. That one's good. There's one up here in the back somewhere, bro. It might be that one. I might be done with that. But you can also to use your electric to tighten them with 3 extensions on it, but make sure they're snug though. You don't want to be messing around and having an axle come flying out on you, bro. This top one right here. Okay. There we go. That one good. Okay, it was snugged in. Okay, so that's set, bro. You can see there's no gap there either. So that was the problem I had on the other side, because I had a gap right here and I had to punch it together. This side went together smooth. I was like, man, I thought this was gonna be a pain. This ain't bad. So other thing is my oil leak stopped. It's still spitting from my boost pipes and stuff, but a little bit. But I also found that I had a slight leak in the sealing ring for the pan. Now it's starting to rain on me and stuff. I'm gonna run these new harbor bolts underneath, okay? So I'm gonna have to reuse one of the hardware pieces for it. Alright. I lost one of the nuts to the new one, so my bad, but and I got 16 of them, so it's like, well, I'll find that bolt, I'm gonna throw it back in, but I think it's gone. Hey. Huh? Well, I just did it that way just because. Your new axle's in, there's your ball joint. So I'm about to go back together, stick it on the ground. You're gonna need a new sway bar link, but I can get that. And this, you can tell, like, these got mashed. So that's your tie rod ends. So they may recommend doing those when they do the alignment. So they may have to put new ends on it. Well, I mean, I could put some on there and then you can take it in for alignment. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is slip the ball joint in with a jack under it really quick, okay? From there, you can see I can get the closed end of the wrench over it like this. If you need to hold that ball joint still, there's an Allen right on top, okay? What I recommend is you use just an Allen wrench, not a socket, because it can leverage itself up against where you need it to be. Alright? So you can spin it. And you can put an Allen wrench over a closed end wrench like that and do what you gotta do. This is the easiest way to do it. So you jack up the ball joint underneath the A-arm, okay? And when you do that, you want to have it so that the ball joint just goes through there a little bit, so you can get a nut on it and just keep some tension on it from the bottom and tighten this up. And generally, you realize if you do it that way, you really don't need an Allen wrench on it. It's when you're taking it out. Sometimes you do too. if you got constant tension on the arm, it ain't such a bad deal. There's no cotter pin for it either, so you'll notice that. We're gonna go down. Okay. So what we're gonna have to do is get that tie rod end to split, bro. So I'm probably gonna end up replacing that.
I'll talk to you later then.
Our ball joint is back in, okay? Our 27mm axle, that's 27mm. It's a one-time use bolt, so it's a stretch bolt. They send you extras. So this is an 18. This one's gonna be tough. We got split boot, the hold on suspension you get down. So doing this a certain way. I'm just gonna reinstall my brackets and get this thing back in. So going to a suspension shop to get some tie rod ends done, and well, I might do them myself. We'll kind of see what she wants to do.